Morning folks, headed to Barrett-Jackson today. This is day 2. I was here yesterday, but there were so many people here I couldn't really get any good footage. You can look at 3 electric vehicles today that I think you should be aware of if you're looking for alternatives to Tesla, which I understand. I'm gonna show you them here. I'll be as objective as possible, and you guys can let me know what you think in the comments, and that's that. All right, so the first thing we have on our list here is the brand new Ford Lightning. This has between a 230 and 300 mile range, has between 460 and 560 horsepower, which is insane. And the reason that I bring this car up and the reason that it's important is because it's not as extreme as something like the Cybertruck. Not everybody wants to take pictures of their car and get likes on Instagram. Some of them just want to subtly be better for the environment and try the new technology. And to me, that's where the Lightning fits in. Also, the appealing thing about this car is it starts at $39,000. Now, after that, it quickly goes up, as I'm showing you on the screen. Probably my favorite minor detail about this is this little American flag lightning bolt logo. I think that looks really cool. But overall, I mean, it just looks like a normal truck. And that's what's going to be really appealing to a lot of people. There's a lot of, obviously, the F-150s being America's best-selling truck for many years now, as the commercials tell me. But here's a look at the Charger, and it's just clean. Looks good. This looks like a big thing of hand sanitizer, branded by Ford. Here's take a look at some of the statistics on the charging network. This is more your at-home setup. And here's like the maximum at-home setup, charging at 28.2 miles per hour, which that to me is a little bit low, but not bad. I mean, overnight you should still be able to fill up your car, which is probably what they're going for. A lot of companies are advertising their ranges, they're underrating them. So when Edmunds does their third-party testing, a lot of companies like Porsche, I think Ford did pretty well as well. They're underrating their cars, whereas Tesla's overrating their cars. I've never been able to get the advertised range out of my Model Y. The long-range Model Y is close, but it doesn't do it as well as like the Porsche Taycan advertises 200 miles of range and it's getting over 323. And then also, we've already done videos on this, but the Mustang Mach E GT, and this is the Performance Pack Edition, so that's pretty sweet. And there's also a Shelby Cobra GT. This is sick. Look, I mean, look at the scoop down in the hood. So just some really cool renditions that they have here. And again, just growing the aftermarket for electric vehicles and making them fun to drive, and enthusiasts will want to buy them because you can do things to them. Starts at $43,000, goes all the way up to $61,000. Now we're gonna walk over to the BMW area. The other thing I'd like to note is people complain about build quality of Tesla, which I get. And they also complain about service of Tesla. But what they don't get enough credit for is how easy it is to buy a Tesla. Yes, you do have to wait, and there's made up delivery dates, so that's a problem. But when you put in your deposit, you lock in a price unless you make changes to your spec. So it's nice that you put your money in, when you go to pick up your Tesla, you sign a few papers and you're out. There's no negotiating. And I'm hearing problems of people constantly having to negotiate their price. Like the Mustang Mach-E starts at $43,000, but maybe there's a $10,000 markup. Some of these legacy automakers need to eliminate that and just sell as many cars as possible, sell them in MSRP. You're still making margin and you'll get your volume kickbacks at the end of the month and quarters. I just think it's important that they make it as easy as possible, because if you want to compete with Tesla, you're going to need to make buying an electric car as easy as possible. So, on to BMW. This also is a crazy lineup. Carrera GT, this was not here yesterday, but I've seen this at Porsche of North Scottsdale. They had it listed for $1.4 million. So it's probably gonna go for an insane amount. Right next to a 918, next to a P1, next to a Senna. I mean, this is one of the craziest lineups I don't think I've ever seen a P1 in person since I was here yesterday. Senna is just, I've never seen a Senna, so my first time seeing that. That is unbelievable. And then there's just Ford GTs. I mean, it's crazy what is here. Huracan Performante, satin matte black. I'm pretty sure that's a factory color. That's not a wrap or anything. There's none of that here. I don't know about the chrome wrap on the P1. I don't know if that's a wrap or if that's factory as well. Honestly, I think that's a terrible spec. 6x. I mean, just the suspension work in this alone. And then this one is pretty special, the Superleggera Gallardo. Lightweight, I think it's only rear wheel drive, and it's really clean. The paint's in really good shape. Alcantara all through the interior. Gallardo, I think in the future is just going to really appreciate, because it has a timeless look. It's really sleek. It's just one of the best cars, most beautiful cars ever produced, and the sound, as you all know, is amazing. So the other car you should be aware of is the 2022 i4 eDrive 40. There's also the M50. So this has 335 horsepower. It goes up to 500 horsepower once you get the M50 model. So this is all-wheel drive, has a 245 to 300 mile range. Be my second choice. Reason for that is just because it's, here, we'll take a look at the inside here. That's one nice thing about BMW at this event, is they let everyone just get in their cars and check them out. So take a look at this monitor. Unbelievable. And this is probably the most exciting part of the car, is just this high definition monitor that they've installed. It goes all along the front here. And I don't know if you can tell, but it's also curved along the front. So everything is kind of driver focused. The passenger is still able to see it, but mainly driver focused, which I really like. And this thing's beautiful, but it's also just a normal BMW sedan. When you get in it, it doesn't feel like anything special, whereas a lot of other electric car companies are trying to reinvent the wheel, which is fine. Tough sell right now with creating an electric car is you have to create something compelling enough for people to want to stop the ease of use of gas and go get a different car. That's why Tesla has been so successful, is because they gave you something that was really fun to drive. There's a huge iPad in the middle of it. It farts, it does all these goofy things, but that compels people to buy them. On top of that, the charging network is so good that you don't have to change your life that much to be able to drive an electric car. So now the iX that I will show you back here is unbelievable, and we'll take a closer look at that. Also, quick side note, I know there's been a lot of side notes in these videos. This M240i is just beautiful. I thought of getting this exact same spec and trading my M2. It's more powerful, it's faster, it's all-wheel drive. Doesn't feel as raw as a full-on M car, there's no doubt about that, but just the comfort of it and then just the raw speed that it has, I really like this car. Sitting down in it, there's a lot more plastic than I would have. The seats aren't as comfortable, and there's a lot more plastic in the car, so you can see where they cut corners in areas, but the fully digital dash, the infotainment system is all excellent. Probably sounds great. It just the initial quality when I sat down in the seats didn't quite feel like a BMW, as nice as they normally are. Okay, so now on to the 2022 BMW iX xDrive 50e. This starts at $83,200, so definitely more of a Model X competitor. But again, like I said, look how different this looks than like an X6M, for example, or just a regular X5. So this has a compelling difference that people are going to look at and want to own this car just purely based on looks. And it's so sleek, it's so aerodynamic. Also has a little detail here with the iX embossed into the side of that plastic trim. You can see some green lighting on the interior. Let's go to the interior. I have no idea how to open this door handle. Oh, okay, I like that. Yeah, see, this is the fit and finish. This is why I think it is so important. I'm sorry I keep talking about Tesla, but you have to when you're talking about electric cars. This is the fit and finish that Tesla does not have. I mean, this might have taken 6 or 7 cals, but it's worth it. I mean, look at that. It's just absolutely beautiful. You have the accent lighting, mood lighting, and then we'll get in the interior. Look at these seats. So let's do a butt test. Oh, yeah. I feel like I'm sitting in my living room right now driving a car. The steering wheel also has a totally unique shape to it. And oh my God. See, this is awesome innovation. The buttons look like stickers on a piece of wood. And I mean that in a good way. There's heptics. I don't know if you can hear that. So, go over to this. This is so cool. And this is what I mean. You have to give people a compelling reason. You want your customer to get into this car, and it's so different than just a normal X5, because that's where they're going to be pulling clients from, or the X7. You want them to get in this and be like, I need this. I don't care. It's secondary that it's electric. I like that it's cool. And they've really done a nice job with that. And you can see why I like this over the i4. The i4 is just, it's more in the affordable range. You know, affordable EV world, you know, that's $50,000. It's so nice to be in. This is all open down here, so you can play a little footsies with your passenger. And the leather is so plush. And the heptics in the middle. I mean, this is a really impressive vehicle. A lot of people are going to be driving these around town. They'll still use their gas-powered car for the road trips, and this will be their around town cruiser. They have the new and cool electric car. And that's why I think it's so important that if Tesla wants to continue their rise to success, that they have to have the service and support that BMW has. When I take my M2 into service, like I joked about in the other video, they take great care of me. They always have a loaner. If it's a 40-minute oil change and I need a loaner, no problem. They hand me a loaner, I'm out the door, I come back. People are like, oh, well, it costs a lot. So yeah, sometimes it does. I've had no issues with my M2 in almost 3 years of ownership. But sometimes it does cost a lot, but at least you know the problem is going to be taken care of regardless if it costs a lot. At Tesla, they blow a lot of people off. They don't listen to you. And that needs to change because these cars are getting better and better. The other thing about legacy automakers are like, oh, all legacy is going to go out of business. Some will in the electric era. Some will for sure. But BMW, Mercedes, they're not going anywhere. And also Mercedes, with the EQS 450 Plus, it's rated at 350 miles of range. It gets 422 real-world miles of range. So Tesla doesn't have anything that can do that. And Mercedes hasn't been doing it for that long. So I know you probably can't hear me right now, but I'm doing a sound test. The car has 4D sound. There's 30 speakers and most of them are in the seats, so my ass is rumbling right now. Also, most likely to reduce weight and increase rigidity, there is a 80% carbon shell. I don't know, yeah, you can see the pattern here. Now, I'll be the first to admit, I'm in the Tesla cult, and I also doubted legacy automakers' ability to catch up as quick as they are catching up. They're absolutely catching up. The more electric cars that you drive from different brands, the quicker you will realize that. If you're sitting on Twitter all day with hashtag Tesla and you're following that, you'll think no one's close. But if you go out into the real world where actual things are happening, you're quickly going to realize that Germany is right on the heels of Tesla. Now, the charging network, every automaker is screwed except Tesla. So if they open that up, it's going to level the playing field a lot more. But again, I just felt that these 3 electric vehicles were important for you to know about because there's other options out there. You don't have to join the Tesla cult. I'm in it. But these other options out there are incredibly compelling. So, I don't know. I hope that helps you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. The iX is a beautiful vehicle. Now, if you were to ask me, Ben, if money wasn't an option, what would you get? I'd take the M3 right here. No question. It's worth hurting the environment to hear that exhaust. So we're going to go on to the Expel tent now. Michael hooked up the tickets, so I was able to get in a little bit early today. I think I'm going to get a tramp stamp on my lower back that says Tesla today. Hope you guys enjoyed that video. Click the card at the right side of the screen there. That is me unveiling this LaFerrari, which is a hybrid. It's the most expensive car I've ever had featured on the channel, so we go into some depth on that. And Expel took the time to show me their paint protection film and the self-healing properties of the film, and that's why I use it. So it'll be an educational video. It's the most rare car I've ever had on my channel, and I'd appreciate if you watched.